kill a woman. That would be the worst thing you could do, I would say. I think there's a lot of people that agree with me. I think you agree with me.
You should re-educate yourself. I got beaten with a baseball bat in the field. I didn't know why I was getting beaten. Finally, I got to hit him and broke his nose. Other than that, I would probably be dead. And I ended up charged. The police have never treated me fair. The system has not treated me fair. Because yous have attacked me. Yous are the enemy. Over, over, over.
Loud and terrible crimes occur even in such calm countries as Canada, which is the top 10 safest. Even here, periodically, terrible tragedies happen. Today I will tell you about one like that. On September 22nd, 2015, Ontario shuddered. That morning, handyman Basil Borutski strangled Carol Culleton, his former girlfriend, whose house he was remodeling. Then went to another ex, Anastasia Kuzik, whom he shot with a shotgun. He finished his bloody rendezvous at the home of yet another ex, Natalie Wormerdam, whom he also shot, after which he was arrested. What prompted him to take the bloody path? Today, we will listen to the first person.
My understanding of the reason that you're here today is that yesterday you were arrested for murder ×3. Okay? And my understanding is that the 3 individuals that were murdered are Carol Culleton, Anastasia Kuziak, and Natalie Warmerdam. And those are the three individuals that were murdered, and those are the 3 individuals that you've been arrested for. Okay? So that's why you're here today. That's why you were arrested, and that is some of what I'm going to be talking with you about here today. Okay, you are going to be going to a bail hearing this afternoon, and if you have any questions at all as we're speaking here, Basil, you just go ahead and fire away. Okay.
Well, listen.
Sorry, I think I missed that.
I said I'll listen.
Okay. So do you understand that those are the charges that are being brought against you right now?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any questions about that?
No. I didn't murder anybody.
Okay. You understand that though?
Every dealing I've ever had is malicious prosecution on the part of the OPP, so it doesn't matter.
Well, first of all, I'm not here to prosecute you of anything. That's not my job, Basil. I'm not a prosecutor.
You're certainly not a positive person on my side.
Well, I mean, I think I made sure you had some clothing instead of that jumpsuit, right?
After you starved me all day yesterday, never fed me nothing, wouldn't give me nothing, not even water. Yeah, that was really nice.
But again, that wasn't me, right? I just got here this morning at about
It's all your
8:30.
so-called brothers, great bunch of human beings.
Well, there's difficult people to deal with in all walks of life, isn't there? But I think it's fair of me to say that I showed up here and the first thing I did was make sure you got food and clothing. Right?
That's supposed to make you feel special. The first officer that arrested me should have had some decency.
What is it about this malicious prosecution? Why do you keep bringing that up? Or what does it have to do with me?
You're a police officer.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
You're part of the big brother. One does something dirty, the rest of you all follow suit and hide and keep the guy safe.
Well, I can appreciate that perspective is out there.
No, it's there. No.
Yeah, I'm not denying that people believe that's what happens. Basil, because you are here at a police station, we are to some degree responsible for your health and safety. So I have some questions I'd like to go over with you. just about any concerns that...
It may seem that Basil is suffering from persecution or paranoia, but no, this is simply the brazen behavior of a person who believes that everyone owes him, and of course, a clever attempt to evade responsibility.
I had a car accident and I broke all of this or whatever in my back, and I got a concussion, and I busted up my hand. I can't even remember what all. And the guy that hit me was telling the police officer, take this guy to the hospital, he's hurt bad. And he told the cop that about 10 times. He was sitting in the back seat of the cruiser, I was sitting in the front seat of the cruiser. When the guy got out of the cruiser, the cop looked at me and he said, you can fucking drive yourself to the hospital. And he turned and showed me a fucking criminal record that wasn't even supposed to exist. It was supposed to be wiped clean because I was found not guilty. So he fucking left me there on the side of the fucking road, and how I got to the hospital is beyond me. And I got no treatment because I went to a little hospital because I didn't know what else to do.
Okay.
So now I'm...
How many years back are we talking here, Basil?
I don't know. It happened when I was going to work. Atomic Energy, Petaluma Flats. That cop should be shot and pissed on for what he done to me.
So is this... Are we talking a long time ago? Like over 10 years ago or 5 years ago? Or?
Over 10 years ago.
Okay. And you were working at Atomic Energy? Okay.
That's right.
What were you doing out there? What was your title?
Millwright.
Millwright, okay. Are you retired now?
I'm disabled now from the accident.
From the accident, okay.
And if you look that up on the record, it'll say there that it was non-life threatening. It's amazing that I'm alive.
Doesn't sound like you've had very many positive experiences with policemen.
I've never had a positive experience with a policeman.
Mm-hmm.
If there would have been a positive policeman, my whole life would be different.
Well, what about the experience we're having right now? Is that positive?
I just told you you're a police officer and you're going by that stupid record that you guys made.
What is this record you're talking about anyway? Do you have a criminal record?
Oh, give me a break.
Well, what's it for?
I am not stupid. Why would you even ask me something like that? You think I don't know you read every word of whatever's there?
Hey.
Don't run me for an idiot.
Basil, I'm just telling you like it is, man. About 6 hours ago, I was in Sudbury on another investigation.
Yeah, and you came in here and sat down without knowing nothing about Basil.
Well, I'm hoping that he's going to tell me about it himself.
Answer the question. You're telling me that you didn't read nothing about
Oh,
Basil.
absolutely not. Let's not kid ourselves. Of course, I've talked to
So
the
why are you
investigators.
asking me then?
I've talked to the investigators about this investigation that's going on right now. I've talked to an officer from this detachment who's dealt with you in the past.
Niece. My wife was having an affair with her first cousin. She called Kathy. Kathy called another cop named Ian Anderson, who was her boyfriend. He got involved and said that he had knowledge of me assaulting my wife, and he caused the police officer investigating to charge me for nothing. The officer never even met me, and he said he had knowledge. He's a liar.
And again, I've just met you and I told you I have very limited
That
knowledge
is-
about you. And I'm trying to learn a little bit about it.
What's the point?
Well, the point is that you're here and I'm here and
Malicious prosecution, that's the point.
I think you might have some difficulty identifying any malice between me and you right now. Wouldn't you agree?
You're asking me stupid questions as if pretending that you don't know I have a criminal record. I am not stupid.
No, I told you I knew you had
So
a
I
criminal
don't want to
record.
talk about it.
I told you I knew you had a criminal record. I said I didn't know what it was for.
No, don't change it. No, I know what you're doing. It's okay. Don't believe a word you're saying.
And there are no more serious crimes than murder.
I didn't murder anybody.
That's right, you killed somebody. Correct? Killed 3 people, actually. What's the difference between killing and murder?
Thou shalt not murder. Commandments.
Mm-hmm. So is killing justified? Is that what you're getting at?
I'm saying that
And I believe it's actually thou shalt not kill.
you're wrong. You better start reading the Bible.
Yeah?
Yeah. Find an old version before they changed it.
Way back to the King James?
This is what I want you to do. I want you to look into the past charges against me by those women, and I want you to do that proper investigation from the point of view of what really happened, and then have a retrial, a fair trial, and then we'll talk about reality. So any information you want from me, you can get by simply doing the proper investigation for the past. I was put in jail twice, wrongfully. Now go out there and find. You're a good cop, you go out and find out why that's wrong. It's not hard.
What were they for? What were you in jail
You
for?
don't have to look very hard to figure out that, no, it's right. Basil should not have been in jail. After you do that,
First step of the
come back and
investigation
talk.
is tell me what I'm investigating. What were you charged with?
Don't play me for stupid. You know exactly.
I don't know, Basil. I don't have to play you for stupid. I don't have to pretend when I don't know what you were charged with. I understand you have a criminal
I
record.
think you're stupid right now to talk to me as if I'm stupid. Just go out there and punch the computer. Don't act like I'm an idiot.
Well, here's the other thing, Basil. The reason why I'm asking is whatever common criminal offense you were charged with, I don't investigate. I only do homicides.
I guess that's why you're not going to figure it out, because you're not smart enough to go back and find out. Maybe you could find out that, geez, Basil was innocent. Maybe you could find out that some of these cops done some pretty bad things and they framed Basil. Maybe you could find out some of the reality and all the pieces might fall into place.
Well, what did they frame you about? What did they do? Was it about women? Could it be
Did I already tell you some stuff?
Could it be another
Did I tell you about a Kathy Sinofsky and an Ian Anderson? Did I tell you? Did you write that down?
Those are just names. I don't know what are
Constable then. Write that down. Constable, and find out. Look into the past, what their big mouths had to say, the lies they told. Try that out for style. That's a really good place to start. Look at Reggie Aramonis. Look at her part in it. Find out that I told the truth through that whole thing, and she lied through the whole thing.
Well, I can't say that I'm shocked about women lying about some kind of domestic situation. That doesn't shock me at all. When I was a road constable, I dealt with that lots of
Women
times.
use the system to their advantage financially for
Of course they
every
do.
reason they can.
Of course they do.
Well, that's corrupt. If you know that, you should be doing
Of course
something about it.
Well, what would you like me to do about it? That's the way the world works, Basil. That's the world we live in.
Well, you are a stupid fucker if you believe that. If you know that, then you're a cop. You should be trying to change it, shouldn't you? You should be making it right. You know the difference between right and wrong? I do.
Mm-hmm. So do I.
Well, obviously not, because you just said that's the way the world is. What a stupid thing to say. If it's wrong, you change it. You're a cop.
I'm one cop, right? I'm one person.
And that means you can't do nothing about it, eh?
No.
Yeah, you don't even open your mouth and voice an opinion.
Maybe sometimes you gotta take the path of least resistance, Basil.
Yeah, because then you stand back and let people like me take the fall.
What Basil says, his previous convictions and framing, these are numerous accusations of domestic violence from his ex-wife and girlfriends. Since 1985, at least, 20 complaints have been filed against Borutski, not to mention those cases when women preferred not to go to the police. One of his victims even told friends that during another quarrel she feared for her life because she saw the light go out in his eyes. In view of this, it is strange that such a person was not provided with adequate supervision.
The most horrible thing innocent person in jail. And the accuser,
I would say the most horrible thing you could do is take the life of a woman. Kill a woman. That would be the worst thing you could do, I would say. I think there's a lot of people that agree with me. I think you agree with me.
you should re-educate yourself.
You think killing women is okay? It's good?
Don't put words in my mouth. I never said no.
I don't need to put words in your mouth. They're coming out just fine. I'm just pointing out some fairly obvious observations.
I'm talking about the reality of how things get to where they are.
The reality is 3 women are dead.
You're
You
thinking-
killed them and you're talking about how you were wronged years ago in some kind of cheesy, domestic assault charge?
That's what you hear?
That's what you're telling me.
No, that's
Vaguely, you're not really telling me. I'm asking you because I want to know and you don't really want to tell me. You're just kind of dancing around the issue.
Really? That's the way to see it, eh?
Oh, you're talking about malicious prosecution. How about malicious victimization? If you're such a victim in this and you don't want to tell me about it, what do you want me to do about it?
Would be with somebody that is supposed to be representing me.
I didn't catch the first part of that, Basil. What about a lawyer? Is going to be representing you?
That would be when I would be telling my story to a lawyer that is interested in representing me. You are not representing me. You are representing evil.
No, I'm representing the truth. I'm representing 3 dead girls, 3 dead women.
If you were, you'd be looking into
2 ex-girlfriends of yours.
3.
3? No, I don't think Natalie was. I think she turned you down, right?
I lived with her for 3 years. What are you talking about? Paid for half the farm. Worked on it.
Sorry, Anastasia is the one that turned you down.
Turned me down.
She's quite a bit younger than you too. You're not the first guy to be turned down, though.
I wasn't turned down by Anastasia. I was dating Carl Culleton, and I was working on Anastasia's house.
Okay.
She was a friend, like a daughter. She lied in court.
Sometimes people are not truthful.
A lot. She lied a lot, and the Crown Attorney said, it's okay to lie. That was her end statement thing. It's okay, some people lie.
So is that why
What's
you...
the point of going to court when it's okay to lie?
So is that why you killed these girls, Basil? Because they're not going to get their comeuppance in court? They're going to lie and they're going to escape responsibility?
If you're a cop, you should know that people that use the system are guilty.
That's true, but it's not our job to go around and
It
take
is your
justice
job.
into our own hands.
It's not in your own hands. It's reality. I was in jail for nothing. The person that accused me should have been charged.
So what did these women do to you that made you have to kill them? That's the burning question of the day.
So I'm in jail for nothing, and that doesn't matter to you.
Not right now, no, because
Well,
you going into jail for a little while kind of pales in comparison to being dead. Don't you think?
I think it's quite important that when innocent people go to jail, the police don't do anything about it. They don't investigate. They don't care.
Well, you know what, really, why do we have to do anything about it when we have you to take care of these problems?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's very evident what I'm talking about. We're way beyond. Listen, I don't know if you noticed this or not, but the question out of my mouth this whole time we've been here was certainly not, did you kill those 3 girls? Because you did. That's very clear from this investigation. And witnesses and evidence. I'm not asking that question. That's not a question I need an answer to. That's not what I care about. It's irrelevant. It's a moot point. My only concern was why you did this to them. What could they possibly have done to make you so angry that you decided in September of 2015 to go and kill these 3 women? And the only rational explanation I can think of is that they obviously hurt you in some way. Either rejected you, or lied to you, or somehow disrespected you. That's the rational explanation from the rational person looking in at this. Unless I'm missing something glaringly obvious.
Obviously you are. I keep telling you that I was framed and I'd done time in jail, but ruined my reputation, ruined.
Well, you certainly weren't framed this week. I mean, maybe something happened to you when you went to jail, and maybe something went awry with the investigation. I do not know. And if that was the case, that's most unfortunate. But speaking about that investigation right now is not my concern, and it should not be your concern. And I don't think that the people in this community would appreciate me ignoring you having taken the lives of those 3 girls just to go open up a case where you may have been wrongly charged years ago that you don't even want to tell me about.
Just using words so small, just like Basil's life is just a case. Basil's life is a bunch of cases on police officers who maliciously prosecute.
Oh, Basil's life is a big case right now. Yes, it is. It's very big. It's very big in the news all across Ontario.
And the police made it that way.
No, the media made it that way.
Yeah.
Actually, you made it that way. You are the one that made it that way. You made this situation, not me. From what I understand, it looks like you're acting as a handyman for some of these women, helping them out when they in their time of need. So I would agree with you that yes, that is what people say about Basil, that he is a caring, good person. The religious side wasn't apparent until I sat down and started talking to you, but I can obviously see that as well. Make no mistake, people aren't out there saying that you're some kind of terrible person, which is one of the reasons why I agreed to come here from Sudbury to talk to you today. Is because that's the kind of things that people are saying to you. They are saying that you're a good person. You are helping. You are caring. And I don't understand how this happened, just like everybody else doesn't understand. And that's why I wanted to take the time to come here and talk with you. It would have been easy for me just to go to the investigator and say, oh yeah, look, you got enough here. See you later. I don't need to talk to this guy. You got better things to do. But I wanted to take the time to talk to you.
And when I
Because I don't understand.
Talk over me some more. You said anytime you want, just,
Yeah.
and every time I do, you just keep on talking.
I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, you're sorry, all right.
But what did you want to say?
Every time I try to tell you the proper thing to do is to find out that I was innocent of all those charges, all those times dragged through court.
Okay.
And that there was police officers that constantly didn't do what they were supposed to do, constantly tried to frame Basil. And then you'll see how it evolved, little by little by little, to the point where Basil has no choice. The system is just screwing him.
So which cases are we talking about here? What do you want me to look into? What are the officers' names? I'm going to write them down.
Oh, you didn't write down already?
No, I didn't write
It wasn't
down.
even important to you about Kathy Sinowski, Ian Anderson,
Okay.
and the past, and how red your bonus.
Basil, I need you to slow down for me. I can't. That's why I didn't get them the first time around. You blew through them so fast, and you're on to the next thing. I didn't even hear them other than Kathy somebody. Kathy. Basil. Cernowski.
Maiden name, she's married to a cop. I think
She's your wife's niece, is that correct?
right.
Okay. She's married to a cop.
I believe her married name is Lemelin or something like that.
Now what-
She threatened to shoot me when she was going to police college. Now she teaches police.
She threatened to shoot you.
Right on.
So what But what was the case I'm looking into here? What was the allegation that you feel you're wrongly convicted of, or somebody lied in?
I believe that time that the wife took off with her first cousin and lived with him for 6 months. And
Your wife?
That's right.
Okay.
And then she made a fictitious charge that supposedly happened years before, or whatever you call it, just so that she could get custody of the children. And she got Kathy and Ian to call the officer investigating Reggie Armonas. And the first thing Reggie done was the raw property thing.
Hold on a second. Reggie Arnonis?
Armonas. Pembroke Police at the time. I don't know where she is now.
Armonis. Pembroke Police. Okay. Sorry. So Reggie was investigating. So she said she made up some story you're saying to gain leverage to get...
Anderson wasn't even a cop here. He was somewhere in Northern Ontario, and Kathy was here, and I don't know where she went to college. She went up there too after. And then she broke up with him and she married some other cop here. But she got, the ex-wife got Kathy to phone and talk to Ian. Ian phoned Reggie, said that he had knowledge of me assaulting my wife, which was a direct lie because I've never met the man in my life, so knowledge is knowing. And then Reggie came back and turned around. The whole story changed. Reggie told me to take my child home, which I did. Everything was good. When I brought the kid back, all this had gone down, and I ended up getting charged with a historic 6-year-old something. And then,
Okay.
and my ex-wife charged me twice
So,
with charges.
Basil, what was your wife's
I'm
name?
still talking. I didn't butt in. Or, please don't butt in. If you want to hear the story, let me continue.
I just need to know, is this a different case so I can box it off?
It's the same.
Okay, same case.
Why do you think cases are just like a few words and it's over?
No.
There's a reality to things, Truth. If you read the Bible, maybe if you had a little Latin, you'd understand.
Okay. Can I just ask your wife's name?
No, stop. My ex-wife was seeing her first cousin, and she thought she was going to lose custody of the girls. So she made up all these stories about me raping her and assaulting her, and I forget how many charges, 12 something. And they were all ended up, I was found not guilty of. But I was run through the ringer, my reputation ruined. And all because she couldn't face the truth, thought the only way was to keep the children or get custody was to say bad things with me. She even went to the shelter months after she was living with the guy, pretending that she was afraid of me. Why would she go to a shelter? When she went there, I thought it was because the guy she was with was beating on her. The whole system. So in reality, the wife charged me 3 times. Twice I was found not guilty with a jury, with a judge alone, and then the last time, I forget what they called it, she refused to go through with it because she said it was because she had cancer, wasn't it? But it lasted long enough that she got what she wanted from the family court, made me look like an asshole. And then charges were dropped, or whatever, stayed, that's the word.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want them stayed. I wanted to go to court and be proven not guilty because I wasn't. The system should have seen 3 times the same charges, found not guilty of 20, and she's doing it again. But they didn't. They didn't even try to see the truth. Get Basil. And then there's, even with Anastasia Kuzik, she sells my tractor. When the police are called, the police officer says, that's stealing, that's theft. When the police officer's called, he says, we're not going to do anything about it. It's a such sensitive situation. Sensitive? She stole my tractor and sold it. What does that make her out to be? and the police protected that theft. I got beaten with a baseball bat in the field. I didn't know why I was getting beaten, and it took a year or two later for me to finally find out Natalie Warmerdan was screwing the neighbor while she was married to her husband before I came along. When I came along, he was pissed off. I often wondered why the man didn't like me. I tried to help him. I helped him fix his pool. And then one day I'm getting beaten with a baseball bat because my baler caught fire. I'd done nothing wrong, totally innocent. And I find out it's because all those years, time I was there, it was because I took his affair girlfriend next door. I had no idea. So I get beaten with a baseball bat, could have been killed. Miller comes along, and the first thing they say is, Basil, you're under arrest. I said, for what? He said, you're drinking beer. So what? I'm on my own property. I'm having a beer after a fire. And it took the Crown Attorney to look that through and see that it was wrong, and made Miller go back and charge the guy with assault. The guy hit me 3 times with a baseball bat, and finally I got to hit him and broke his nose. Other than that, I would probably be dead. And I ended up charged. Unbelievable. And I'm a cripple. And here's a young guy with a baseball bat beating on me. And in the end, he gets like 6 months probation or something. He beat me with a baseball bat. Attempted murder. But he was beating on Basil Borutski. Makes it okay. I understand. Understand how it works.
Everything he says fits perfectly into the picture of psychopathic behavior. They tend to blame everyone around them for their own problems. The police are petty, women lie, and even beat him up. He's quite convincing if you don't know the truth about the events he describes. For example, he was not beaten with a bat, but he almost strangled Natalie's son, threatened to destroy their home, and killed the dog.
The police have never treated me fair. The system has not treated me fair. I never lied in court. I never lied with my ex-wife. I never lied any of it. But the court system seems to want to believe the lies instead of the truth.
It certainly sounds like you've had a rough go with justice.
My ex-wife was raped by her brother from the age of 12 years till I don't know how old. I dealt with that. I tried. If the police would have simply looked in, and the man's still walking around scot-free. That would be Kathy's uncle, Constable Kathy. And they all hide the big family secret, and he didn't just do it to my ex-wife. And everybody thinks I hate my ex-wife for all those charges she laid against me. I don't hate her. I understand she went through hell. I just wish she'd tell the truth, face reality.
Well, that's what we all want, Basil, is ultimately we all want people to tell the truth. And I think you're telling me the truth right now with all these things that happened to you.
So then what we should do is open an independent investigation and find out the truth, find out why this came to this. And there's a hell of a lot more.
Is this Basil, is this the extent we have to go to draw light on your situation?
That's what you're going to do. You got to start from the beginning where the seed was sown, and then you'll see how it snowballed and snowballed and snowballed to the point where Natalie took advantage of the system, and Anastasia took advantage of the system because the police had built me up into, it was just so easy for them. so
Well, it's
easy.
certainly hard. It's, you know what, I'm going to tell you, Basil, it's definitely hard.
I never got time, but just think about all those times I was charged by my wife. I was in jail, out of jail, in jail, out of jail. My reputation, even though I was found not guilty, I had a criminal record for 20 years or something that wasn't supposed to be there.
Did you try and get it?
Is that fair?
Did you?
I ended up getting it removed after I realized 20 years later. You know what it's like to live with a criminal record? When you're not a criminal, when you're not supposed to have one, and then you find out, oh, all those years, that's why when the cop stopped me, that's why he was such an asshole to me, because I had a criminal record that I'm not supposed to have. I was found not guilty.
Yeah.
Don't yap me, because even when I told the judge, he said, so what? He didn't understand.
No, all I'm saying is I can see why that would be frustrating and make you angry, especially
Frustrating. It's so unfair.
when
It's so wrong.
when it's going against the belief of the way you should
When
be
it's going
living
against
life.
who you really are, your good character, and then you're being judged by something that's not true, not right. Even though you are found not guilty, you're still seen as guilty because the record was not removed. Should never have been there in the first place. And I'm not religious. I'm not religious. I am spiritual.
Spiritual.
I believe that there's a big difference.
I understand what you're saying.
And if you did understand, then you'd know the difference between killing and murder. There's an awful big difference.
Well, if I'm hearing what you're saying, there's a purpose to this killing in the burden that you're trying to take on to change society.
It's called justice. I have never had justice in my life.
From what you've told me, I understand how Natalie and Anastasia fit into this, but I don't understand Carol.
It's the very same thing.
In what sense? What did she do to you? Did she make some allegation against you that was untrue?
Lie for money. Lie for work. And it's Natalie. I spent $200,000 there minimum. She wouldn't even work. She lived off of me. I worked on that farm 3 years and brought it back. I turned it into a farm. She told me everything I was doing was what she wanted. And then when the court system told her, she fought because she thought we were going to get all the money. She was actually practically my lawyer. When she found out that I was going to get nothing, because as the judge said, he didn't believe a word I was saying, and every word I was saying was gospel truth. He chose to not believe it, not see it, not want to know the truth. And he told, I didn't even know it was possible. He gave everything to my wife, and he made me buy my own hunt camp back. So I got nothing. That was the turning point. That was exactly when Natalie no more money coming in. She started hunting for somebody else. And that's when the false accusations came. She knew it was so easy because she had just gone through the system. She simply said I was going to hang her son, threatened. I did no such thing. I said, he walked across the kitchen floor that I was washing. He walked into an office, looked back, went like that, walked back across the floor. I mop it up. He turns around, back. He does it 5 or 6 times. I wanted to hit him with the wet mop right in his face. And I told Natalie when she got home what he done. She would come back and says, yeah, he admits it.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, he admits it. That was it. No reprimand, nothing. They didn't make him come and apologize, didn't make him. I actually, after started believing that she put him up to do it, because it wasn't much longer after Then when I told her I want my money back, that was it. She went off the handle, flew. Went up to her dad's, and next thing you know, the police are there, and I'm charged with threatening to hang him, when all I said is, if you don't smarten up, I'll string you up. Meaning, listen, kid, do I deserve to go to jail for that? No. 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 So she used the system. She just stuck whatever. And I think there was another charge. I don't even remember what it was. It was so stupid. The whole thing is so stupid. And Anastasia. I was dating Carl Culleton. Anastasia came along. Well, I knew Anastasia way longer than Carl, but I treated Anastasia like a daughter. She was a friend. She lived in my house with her boyfriend. She tried to sell my land for me as a real estate. All friends. She used to come to the farm, Natalie's farm, my farm, and use the hot tub with us. Her and Eric. They were like friends. So I went to help her because her and Eric were splitting up. She said she needed help to fix the house up. I agreed to help her as much as I could. I ended up kind of half moving in. I still maintained my place. But in the winter when it got cold, I ended up staying more and more at her place than at my place. People may have assumed that there was a relationship going on, but they would have to be cuckoo because there was a 20-some year age difference. And if you don't believe me, simply go and talk to my doctor, because I told my doctor she wanted to have something. She walked around, she'd get in the hot tub naked. You ask my doctor. I went there and I said, what is wrong with me? I cannot get an erection. She does all this to me. She'd even sit on my lap. He said, Basil, it's psychological. She's more like your daughter. She's more like your daughter's age. You see her as your daughter. It was actually a turnoff. But in court, when they asked her if we had a relationship, she said yes. And the reason was, or if they said, were you in a relationship? She said yes. That was a lie. She may have wanted it to be more when she tried to part Carl and I, and eventually she did. Mm-hmm. And Carl knew all of this, and I wanted Carl to go to court and testify that she knew all about Anastasia and me treating her like, or calling her like a daughter, and instead Carl took off with another guy. Then when I got out of jail, Carl's back. She dumps the other guy. So I fixed her cottage all up. I went probably 2.5, 3 months of there every chance I got, cleaning it up, wiring, plumbing, gave her money. Mm-hmm. She lied to me. She told me she was so broke. I even pulled my own RSPs out and gave her my last peanuts. I cleaned the whole place up. Landscaping. All for nothing. It was all for money. She didn't get much. Natalie got the most. Anastasia got about 200,000, 180 or something plus. Well, pretty well all my equipment. And then her son burnt the garage down. My tools were in there. I got nothing. And Anastasia would have got me for about 20,000. And Carl would have got me for about, I'm not sure, 13 maybe or something like that. I don't know. And then she went back with her boyfriend and she's laughing. Him and her are laughing, calling me the BF. Best friend that'll do anything that she wants.
So, all these women
Used.
have put you through the ringer over the years and used you.
And they're all connected, they all know each other.
They've given you such a hard time. Why do you feel you needed to take on this burden yourself to prove this point after all this suffering you've already gone through, Basil? Like I said, this is a difficult road you've chosen here. Why are you doing this just to prove a point? Is there not some other way?
I have no idea what you're talking about. What are you talking about other way? I don't know. Explain.
Well, all these women here that have slighted you or lied to you in some way, cheated on you, and you've killed them all to make this point that the justice system doesn't work. And that road you've chosen is going to have consequences. So what I'm saying is, with all the suffering that you've already done to this point dealing with these three women, why are you taking on this burden to draw society's attention to it by yourself?
I'm not quite sure what you're saying, but I think that, do you not think society should open their eyes and change the way they feel?
I do. Certainly.
Earlier you told me yourself that you know that women are abusing the system, using its system. So if you know that, common sense would be, obviously there's lots of officers that know that. Why isn't anything done? Why isn't changing? Why do you allow people like me to be in jail, rot in jail with a physical disability and suffer with no medication? And then you get out and you're stigmatized and you live your life. You have no idea what it's like when to know that you've done nothing wrong and you.
All I guess I'm saying, Basil,
And I'm sitting here and I'm telling you how you could quite easily see this by going back and tracking what happened, how the police reacted, the things where there was also a bipolar girl in there, Laura Kelly. She was dating a police officer. It just always goes back to the police. I drove her, I was a designated driver. I drove her home. 2 cops pulled me over, asked me if I drank, and I said, no, not tonight, I'm the designated driver, carry on. They run my plates, see all those stupid lie, criminal record that I was not supposed to have. They came, chased me down because they thought I was a bad guy, because I had a criminal record that was not supposed to be there. And I ended up being charged. They did not let me blow on the breathalyzer on the roadside. They said I was over. I never even got to put my lips on it. They were listening to music in the car so loud. They were partying. They were half-bombed New Year's Eve. And then they took me to the station and they left me in a cell for like 2.5 hours before they even asked me to blow. And then they thought I was going to blow in the tube for them. And when I finally did go out and to look at the machine, I could see droplets in the tube. I thought, oh God, they're just setting me up. They just put some alcohol right in the tube and they think I'm going to blow it in there. So no, I'm not going to blow. I'll use their trunk. And then after they even, Laura, the girl with me, assaulted the sergeant, Sergeant Macsack. So they throw her in the cell beside me. Later, we're going to try to find out there's no record of her ever even being there.
If we talk about Carol Calleton, Basil stalked her since the summer of 2015. Although they broke up back in 2013, he followed the woman, sent her frightening messages, pestered her with calls, showed up at her house under various pretexts. And when on the eve of the terrible crime, Carol finally spoke harshly to Borutski on the phone, stating that there was nothing between them, would not be and could not be, he apparently decided, so you won't go to anyone. And since the two other exes of his had also complained about him to the police, Basil at the same time decided to deal with them too. I believe out of a sense of revenge. Why did he do what he did? Anger from his own dysfunction and failure plus self-control issues.
I mean, we can talk about the difference between killing and murder, but this is a pretty distinct tangent away from the guy Basil is supposed to be.
I don't know what happened. I was reading the Bible the night before. If you go to my house, there's 3 Bibles right on the coffee table. I was reading the Bible. There was a lady from next door came over, Mrs. Verkowski, Elizabeth.
I'm sure you were reading the Bible, but
And
after that, Basil,
she talked. Can I keep talking? Why do you keep butting in?
I think I'm doing a good job.
No, you're not. But you're butting in when I'm trying to tell you something. Her and I were talking about the Bible. She's religious. I am not. I tried to explain to her that I'm not religious, but I am spiritual, and I read the Bible, and I understand it more than most priests, and I will debate the Bible with any pastor or whoever wants to talk, because if they're wrong, I'll show them in the Bible where they're wrong, and I've done it many times. And basically,
well, I think one thing about the Bible, if you know, well, hold on there, because you know what, you bring up some good points that I think need attention brought to.
Then you ask me to.
Well, you have a lot of important things to say, and I can't keep up with a lot of them. I guess that's my fault. But what I'm saying is, the one thing about the Bible and spirituality that I think we could probably agree on, and that the majority of people would, is really, it's about balance. And in an ideal world, which you may or may not be experiencing, justice is about balance.
Far from it.
Well, that's ideally what it's supposed to be.
Supposed to be.
And I'm failing to see the connection between these women treating you this way and seeing the balance between that and maybe you having your name tarnished or doing some time in jail or being emotionally hurt and you having to kill them to prove a point. That balance seems to me to be out of whack for such a spiritual person.
I'm trying to tell you some things I told you. If you go back to the beginning.
If I went back to the beginning, I would be mad.
I'm not allowed to talk.
If I went back to the
Do
beginning,
you want to know?
I would be mad.
Do you want to know? Or not?
I do.
Well, if you took the time, if the system took the time to look at one case and see how this happened, maybe when there are killings in the world, in the country, in the whatever, maybe they could understand and change things, change the way they do things. Maybe something could change.
That is exactly what I've been saying to you all along.
So if an intelligent police officer, like you think you are, would see that if you go back far enough and you find the seed that was sown, and then you see how the corrupt, the bad started, where the police don't care and they only want to investigate and make Basil look bad, when in reality they should have been seeing that Basil is the good. And all of that could have changed by simply the police doing the right instead of the wrong, doing the hard instead of the easy. Just like my dad said, if it's not hard to do, it's not worth doing it. And I'm telling you and every police officer out there, you've already told me that you know that there's corruption, but so what? That's your attitude. Because that's the easy way out. The police, the judicial system, yous are at fault for half of what goes on out there. I've been in jail before. I've heard so many horror stories. I'll tell you one thing, when you're in jail with a bunch of people, it's real easy to tell who is telling the truth and who is lying. Because in jail, 90% of the people don't care. They'll tell you exactly what they've done because they're in jail with.
You don't strike me as a person who doesn't tell the truth.
Tell that to the judge.
You know, I certainly had a preconceived opinion about you before I had a chance to come and speak to you, which has obviously changed now that I have a better understanding of why you've done these things and the burden you're trying to take on for society. That is clearly not the person that I was expecting to be sitting with in here today. Do you think your father would approve of this, Basil? What do you think he would think about this road you've chosen here?
I actually thought I would be with him by now. I thought that the way things would go, and the OPP would just shoot me on sight just to get me out of the picture. Because the OPP, especially Killed Detachment, I've already told them that I'm going to sue them for what they've done to me and my family, the more that they could, and to simply have the option to shoot me would have been right up their alley. I believe that 100% get him out of the picture before he tells the truth. But even when I tell the truth, then you really want to hear that, do you? Because you all hide your brotherhood. I actually went to the Ottawa area hoping that it would be the Ottawa police. But what do? They bring me back and give me to the OPP. And it's been the OPP, mostly the Killed Detachment, that has been my nightmare.
Well, I'm here listening to what the truth is, and I'm with the OPP.
But you've already told me that, oh, it's just a drop in the bucket. It's not the system works. So you're, even though you know it's corrupt, you said that you know it's corrupt.
I think maybe now you're putting words into my mouth.
No, I'm repeating what you said. You said that you know that the women use the system. That's corrupt. Yet you're not going to do anything about it. You think it's just a drop in the bucket. Then you said the system works. The system doesn't work. Innocent people like me are in jail. That means the system doesn't work. When you put innocent people in jail, things happen. Screws get loose. You can't think. There's the positivity of life is gone.
That doesn't seem to be the case with you though, Basil. I mean, you've been to jail and you can think very clearly. You're very articulate, you're very spiritual, so that didn't happen to you.
You don't think so. I've been trying to, you call a Kevin Rakuski. I tried to get the crisis line. I talked to my probation. I've been telling everybody I'm going to explode. It's overload. I don't know what's happening. I've been telling people that I've had dizzy. I can't, if I bend over and I sit up, everything starts spinning. I have health issues that haven't been dealt with. In jail, twice I was in jail. Twice I asked them to fix the hernia. They told me, no, you do it when you get out. It's your responsibility. Anytime I want, I haven't got time, I haven't got money, I don't have a vehicle, I don't have everything has been taken from me. So
Well, lots of
Who-
things
who
have
cares?
been taken from you apparently.
everything has been taken from me. I had money. I used to make over 100,000 a year in the 1990s. Everything has been taken from me. My job, my health, my family, my dignity.
You've
all
lost
by the police and people that use the police. That's the
you've
problem.
lost many things.
I've lost everything.
Do you think it's a little bit selfish on your behalf to take those women's lives for you to prove a point? To prove a point.
Selfish? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well,
I haven't got a clue right now what you're saying.
well, these women that you killed is part of a grand scheme for you to draw light on the fact that the justice system apparently doesn't work.
No, it's not a scheme. Where are you getting this from? There's no scheme. I told you. I was reading the Bible, talking to this lady. I went to bed. I remember discussing with her parts of the Bible.
Yes.
I haven't slept in days.
I'm sure that happened.
I
but
guess I'm not allowed to talk.
we have
I'm not-
witnesses
okay.
that are going to fill in the rest of those
Yes.
blanks, Basil. That's why you're here right now under arrest, okay? I'm sure you were talking to some woman about the Bible one night this week, but I'm also sure that you killed those 3 girls before you ended
I'm
up
talking
here.
about the night before. The night before is what I'm talking about. And you
And
don't
what I'm saying is there's
I
no
don't
confusion about
I
what
don't
happened to those
understand
women.
why I'm not allowed to tell the story. I don't understand it, but whatever. That's more corruption. Don't let him say what.
No, I've been listening to you for like 2 hours now tell your story. And I only had one question. The only one I asked was, do you think it was selfish on your part to kill these girls just to prove your point? I'm saying that you're mad at the justice system and you want to try and fix it by going about it this way,
No.
drawing attention to it, maybe so it doesn't happen again. Seems to be some motivation of yours.
No.
That's my understanding of what you've been saying here for the last 2 hours.
You're understanding it completely wrong. That's not what I'm doing. I didn't do something to motivate or whatever you're saying.
No, you said justice. This is justice. You wanted justice. You haven't got justice. In fact, you feel you've been shafted by justice. So you've taken justice into your own hands, and these 3 women are dead. And whatever high and mighty spiritual motivation you've talked yourself into, at the end of the day, you killed 3 women. They are no longer with us. You and I are here. And people are going to make decisions about you. And I appreciate that you've taken the time to explain your position to me, because I think that's going to help the community understand. Because what they don't want is to think that there's just some serial killer out there running around. Because that's really what it comes down to. You're a guy who's killed 3 women, more than 2. 3 is serial. But you've got this righteous side, and there seems to be some sense of, I need justice, and Ontario needs justice, and I've been taking a kicking all the while from the justice system, and I've had enough. And I'm going to show everybody that this isn't right, there's consequences. That's very clear from everything that you've been saying here this whole time.
If you think that this happened because I was going to change the justice system, you are so
Oh, I think we both know that it can't be changed. You just want to draw attention to the fact that it's flawed.
can't be changed.
Well, it all comes back to the very simple question of why this happened. So why did this happen, Basil?
We're having 2 different conversations here at the same time. I'm talking to you about being a police officer, and you know it's wrong. You don't try to change the system. Me, I've got nothing to do with changing the system.
This is your time. What is it you want to draw people's attention to? What is it, Basil?
I don't want to draw people's attention to anything.
You certainly have. You certainly have drawn attention.
I want it to be left alone.
I'm going to suggest that killing 3 women is not the way to be left alone, my friend.
I have nothing left. You stuck everything.
Well, they've taken things from you, yes. And that's why I say...
Use. Your brother had.
Me? No, I've taken nothing from you.
No, the police have. If the police would have done a proper investigation at any point, any time, and proved, instead of trying to prove that I was guilty when I was not,
I want to know more about...
proof when I was innocent, nothing would have ever evolved to this point. Couldn't possibly.
I want to know more about this investigation you're talking about. I'm going to go and give this to my partner and have her pull out the report because I want to see it, okay?
I don't know what you're talking about now. Which of
The Kathy Cernovsky one.
Oh, why just that one? Why not look at?
Well, no, I've got the other
look
names
at
here.
10 of them, 20 or whatever year history of bad. From the cops, bad publicity, bad interactions from the police, or lack of action on the police parts on my behalf, with what happened. And you're wrong when you're thinking that I've done this to get to promote change or something. I was trying to tell you that I don't even understand. I was reading the Bible and talking to a lady. The last thing I remember was when she went home, I read a little more of the Bible, and I remember talking to her about many different things. And she said that she liked the way I explained it and that I should actually teach or something. And she's a nice older lady.
When was that, Basil?
The night before. And I was talking to her about the part where the 10 Commandments, and she said it's thou shalt not kill, and I said no. If you look in the newer Bible, it'll say thou shalt not kill. In the old original Bibles, it's thou shalt not murder. And I explained to her.
Yeah, I made that same mistake.
I keep talking. I don't like to interrupt because I lose my train of thought.
Sorry.
I explained to her that if it said thou shalt not kill, it would mean not be able to kill an animal for food or whatever. For various reasons, people kill for sport, kill for food, you kill for whatever. And I said that's why it's murder. And I said when you kill a murder, it's killing something. Murdering is killing something innocent. And which I abhor, how do you ever say the word? I hate child molesters. I hate what happened to my ex-wife. I know that destroyed her, that she never had a life. I know that played a big part in what he done to her has played out on me as the bad guy. And then so it just keeps rolling. I understand that. I've read every psychology book I could to try to help her. But after 27 years of abuse from her, or her seeing me as abusive because I'm trying to help her, and her family wanting to hide their family secret, because that's what they call it. Your mother and father are finally dead. Their father would have liked to have had that come out. The mother did not. And there is a Bruce Sawbridge, police officer from Killaloe. You know where he lives.
I think you told me his name. Yeah.
I never told you his name today or ever.
Bruce?
Bruce Sawbridge. I did not ever say that today.
Well, there's somebody from Killaloe.
Different Bruce, but
Oh, there's Miller from Killaloe.
I don't know Miller's first name. Anyway, Sawbridge told me that my ex-wife's two sisters went in and complained that they had been molested or whatever by their brother, but my ex-wife never did because she probably can't deal with it. At one point she thought that I was, by wanting her to go get help or admit it, that I was humiliating her. And far from it, I was have stood behind her, even if to this day, if she ever, it's too late now, but if she ever admitted the truth, and I would stand behind her all the way. Because she's a drug addict, alcoholic, she's everything there is. And all she has to do is tell the truth. And she won't, I'm sure she'd get over all of it. She's making her own self sick. My kids think I hate her. I've never hated her ever. Never, not even now. After all the things she's done to me, I don't hate her. Never did. Even the police, everybody thinks that I never beat her, I never hit her, I never put her down, even a judge, one judge, how did he say I was just trying to tell the truth. I wasn't trying to humiliate her or, God almighty, what a stupid.
Who's this woman you're having the spiritual discussion with?
Elizabeth Rakowski, she just moved into the building. She's an older lady, her husband, well, not that old, 60, I don't know. Her husband died 10 years ago or something.
Is this your building or where is this happening?
The building where
Sorry, the building?
I live, Palmer Rapids.
Okay.
I live with
Palmer Rapids, is Crooked Park Slide, is that Palmer Rapids? Palmer, yeah. I used to live out that way.
15 minutes away.
Okay. So this is happening in Palmer Rapids.
So we were talking, and I guess whatever our end conversation was, when I fell asleep, I must have dreamt about it. Or I hadn't slept. I kept telling everybody in that building that I am tired. I haven't slept in days. Everything is going haywire. And I was talking to the crisis people. I'm trying to get help, and I need somebody to talk to, and nothing. I got no one. I even talked to my probation officer, was one of the best ones for trying to help me, but that was not even her job. And I ended up with basically nothing anyway. And I kept telling me I'm going to explode. I can't handle it anymore. Everything is too much. I never dreamt that this would happen.
Anything can happen under stress, Basil. Anything.
So we were talking about the Bible, and I remember we talked about all kinds of things in there, about what was a fruit, and it's not an apple. Everybody believes it's an apple in the Bible. And we talked about when Noah's Ark, how many animals went on, and she said 2, and I said, that's wrong. Look in the Bible, there's 2 of every dirty animal and 7 of every clean. When I have a Bible, I'm quite willing to just look and show you and prove to you. And we talked about why do people, everybody thinks there was 2. Why isn't it real? Why do we believe what the priest or the pottery or people, how come nobody reads the Bible for himself and knows as a fact? And it's just like in life, everybody believes what you hear. Nobody wants to make sure that it's true. That's what happened to me. The system, the police, they believe the lies. It all piled up on me as being the bad guy. Then the next person comes along, and all they have to do is just mention Basil Borutski and the police are on me. Because there's a big pile of bullshit lies.
Oh, I don't think you're a bad guy, Basil.
It doesn't matter what you think. I'm talking about the past and how we got to here. You're here. I'm talking about back there and back there, the other police, people that were involved, how one jumps on the other's back, and it comes to the point where there is no justice for Basil, regardless of what happens, what he says. It'll just get worse and worse, and I guess you give up, and the stress level comes. And anyway, all I remember was going to sleep, or I don't even remember going to sleep, and then I woke up, and I don't even know if I drank coffee. I just went out of the house, and I remember at one point thinking about a zombie, and I remember I was confused, and I I remember seeing the Our Father Hail Mary over and over and over, and I was driving, and I said, I was talking to myself out loud, or I think I was, maybe I wasn't, but I kept saying, God, keep me safe, show me what to do, or stuff, and I don't know what, the gun, I had the gun 2 years ago when Carl Culleton and I first got together, and I was living on a farm. I found the gun in the scrapyard in an old motorhome that was hidden under the floorboards. And I was pulling, I forget how I found it, I was looking for something, and I found the shotgun. And then I collected shells out of every car well, not every car, but I get 2 out of this car, 3 out of it's a kind of country atmosphere, and I was living near a scrapyard next door. I collected the shells. If you look at them, half of them are rusted, and I don't even know if they. And that was because at that time Carl would visit me there at the farm, and the police would drive by and they'd shine lights, stop in front of the house, shine lights in my windows. It was freaking Carl out, and it kind of destroyed her. And I was totally honest with her. I told her my whole history, and she knew I was going to Anastasia's to work on the house to help her so she could get money to pay Eric. But Anastasia twisted that around to make it look like we were in a relationship so that she wouldn't have to pay, because the whole thing was, in the end, I told Anastasia, that's it, I'm out of here, you're not even trying to get the house, what do you call that, appraised. And I told her I'm going back and reestablishing myself with Carl, because me and Carl had drifted away a bit because I wasn't. And Anastasia went ballistic, locked me out of the house, bare ass in the middle of winter. 40 below, I'll never forget that. It was one of the coldest nights. And then when I finally got in the house, she just laughed. I asked her, why'd you do that? She, like a psycho person, just
Basil, I'm confused about one thing here. I'm hoping you can clarify for me.
I'm confused. I'm wishing I could figure this out.
The information we have, Carol Culleton. Our information is you just met her in September. Is that not correct?
No.
Through the Wilsons?
No, the Wilsons. I don't even know them. I met the Wilsons through Carol.
So how long have you known Carol for?
Approximately 3 years. Before.
And are you in a relationship with her?
Yes. Carl and I had sex, no problem.
Okay.
When I went to help Anastasia tried. She walked around naked. She tried, and I couldn't. I went and told the doctor, there's something wrong with me.
Mm-hmm.
This young, whatever, struts around. She even in the hot tub would sit on my lap, and nothing. And my doctor told me, Basil, all the things that have happened with women with you, it's psychological. She's like a daughter to you, and it never happened. The doctor even gave me Viagra, because I thought there's something severely wrong with me, and it didn't even work. Didn't work. And then I thought it was because of my hernia, that was my thing, and I don't know. But then when me and Carl got back together, it seemed to all work again. I don't understand. So me and Carl were apart at the time while I was in jail because Anastasia put me there.
How long were you in jail for, Basil?
A year.
When was that?
I got out in January, so I went in January.
January of this year you got out?
This past January.
Okay. So this conversation with your neighbor, when is this happening? Today's Wednesday. So when are you having this spiritual conversation?
Tuesday night. It has to be Tuesday. Somebody else told me today's Thursday.
Today's Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday. So then Monday. Today's Wednesday. Tuesday. So then Monday night, me and Elizabeth were talking.
Okay.
Monday. I don't remember. I remember at Natalie's walking from the house to the vehicle, and I remember thinking like I was beside myself, or like a zombie, or not there. I had the weirdest feeling walking from. I don't remember. I don't know. And then I drive, and I'd say, "Where do I go, God?" And I turn on this highway and that highway, and I didn't even know where I was going. I was in Dacre and places. I had no idea.
So what happened after you're talking to Elizabeth? What can you remember about that?
Going to sleep. I don't even remember going to sleep. I don't know if I counted reading the Bible or if I, which I do read a lot, and I fall asleep with it. And we had a drink. I had two rye, I remember that, and she had 2 beer. I gave her 2 beer, a Bud Apple and a Coors Light, that's it.
What kind of ride was it?
Ferny Creek.
It's a good ride.
And I don't drink much. It's a rare thing. And I don't know. I haven't slept in probably 5 days. I remember sleeping like an hour in the middle of the afternoon, and somebody phoned and woke me up, and I looked and I figured it's about an hour's sleep I've got. But that's been going on for months. I'm getting less and less and less.
What's going on with that? You know, why is that
I
happening?
don't know. And then I burn out, and then I sleep for 20 hours straight, and then it all starts again. It's been happening. That's why I told you I was trying to get talk to. I called the crisis line, Terry.
When were you talking to them, Basil?
Strong. So. Now I lost that. Rikuski, my probation person, would know that person's name. It's not Terry.
And this is the crisis line person you're trying to think of.
Yes, and they were supposed to get me a mental health worker. I wanted to talk to somebody, and I kept telling everybody that I'm gonna blow here, like there's some, but I didn't think this was, I thought blow was I was gonna go apeshit, screaming, yelling like a retard in the field or something. I felt like my head was gonna blow off.
That's what stress does.
And then,
Basil.
but as far as that day, other than I had a pad of paper, and I wanted to get out of this area. Because I wanted to get away from the
Kill Loop place.
OPP. And I thought I was going to go to Ottawa. I don't know what I thought, because everything was just snapping in my head. Like, I don't know why.
When you woke up after finally getting some sleep Monday, what can you remember about that?
I don't even know if you're saying when I woke up Tuesday. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you woke up Monday night or Tuesday morning. I don't know.
I don't even know if I slept, or if I did. I don't know. even know when I left. Oh yes, I do. I left around 8 o'clock or no, earlier. I think I made coffee. I normally just wake up around 5 every day, regardless of if I sleep 2 hours, it's 5 o'clock.
Okay.
It just is.
So where did you go when you woke up?
I believe I went to the gas station in Palmer, Gulix, and I sat there because they weren't open. And then there was no gas in the car, very little.
Do you have your own vehicle?
And then I borrowed a car off of Cheryl, neighbor downstairs.
Okay.
It was like a nightmare, or not a nightmare, a dream, or I remember a zombie.
Where'd the gun come from?
I told you I got it in the scrapyard. And I thought I was going to protect myself from the police. The police were shining lights and were sitting in front of the house. And I'm telling you, it's either post-traumatic or it could be with somebody, and I see it. This was back when I was with Natalie. I used to tell her to turn here because there's a police car there, and get off the road and hide. And
What do you mean you felt like a zombie? What was going on there?
like I was beside myself, like I was looking at this from over there. I could see myself. That's the way to look at it. I thought I could see myself walking from over there,
Or
beside myself.
what did you see yourself doing?
Walking from the house to the car. I remember, I don't know, I really don't. I still don't know. I don't know if I have to get more sleep, if I have to, I don't know. I just know that's, and then I started writing after. It's a good thing I started writing.
What'd you write?
I don't know. I can't remember. Stuff. You just have the pad.
Have you felt like a zombie before?
No. No, that's why that's why I remember. I thought it was weird. Like the word zombie came into mind. But it wasn't, I don't know what a zombie is. It was like, I remember like as if I was over there looking at myself walking. I know that doesn't make sense, but that's what I mean.
What do you remember after the walking?
Not much. I remember being in a car. I remember saying, God show me where to go. And I remember saying, Dear Father, every little while. Not incessantly, but every 10 minutes maybe or something, or roughly half, I don't know. I just know I said it a lot.
What was God telling you to do? What was he telling you?
I believe that God was telling me where to turn, because I was driving on roads that I didn't even know where they were going. I remember being in Dacre and I was going what the hell am I doing here? And then in a bunch of little towns. And I remember I pulled into some little, like a park, roadside park place, and I drove around in a circle. And then I drove back out on the highway, and I remember saying, I don't understand why you wanted me to do that, but there must be a reason. And that would have been, I don't know where that was.
What happened at Carol's? Can you remember that? At the cottage?
I remember, I was at the cottage the night before.
On Tuesday.
Okay. You said today's Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday. So you were arrested yesterday afternoon in Ottawa. If that helps.
Tuesday. I was arrested.
Yes.
So Monday, I was at the cottage. And that's when Carol was, I already knew about her and the other, she had told me, but that's when she said that her and her man called me BF, and she said that they thought it was funny, and he kept texting her, and she was laughing in the house, and she told me that they had this joke about me being BF, best friend, the guy that'll do anything that she asked for nothing or whatever.
Why would she tell you that? Why would she try to hurt you like that?
I asked her that. I asked her in my text to her, I asked her, why would you hurt me like that? I don't know. I don't know.
She wouldn't tell you.
She never told me in my text when I asked her. She laughed. And then I don't even know the guy's name, never asked. When she first told me that she was with him, she said that she couldn't live like that, and that was it. I never asked no more questions. So she told me he's younger. I don't know how old, I don't know his name, I don't know, because it wasn't in her apartment. I thought it was in her past. And it wasn't.
But when you saw her in person, she wouldn't tell you
Tell me what?
why she decided to hurt you like that?
She never told me. She just said, we joke around and laugh about this. We call you my BF. And then she said, best friend. And it's more or less like they talked. The same day I was there at the cottage, and in the evening I came home and I was talking to Elizabeth. I was at the cottage. It came from there.
Did you go back there after talking with Elizabeth?
Oh, I don't think so. No. I think I fell asleep. I think I fell asleep. Oh. And it seemed, when I would ask God, show me what to do. I remember there was, I don't know if I was seeing a light or seeing it in my head.
Why would God have you kill those women, Basil? That seems kind of counterintuitive. Like, what reason could there be for that?
No, to me it seemed like God was trying to show me that the commandment isn't thou shalt not kill, it is thou shalt not murder, and that when it's murder to kill somebody that's innocent. That's why I couldn't kill myself, because I thought about shooting myself, but I can't do that because I am innocent, I didn't do it wrong. Because that would be me murdering myself. Does that make any sense?
It does.
And
So, Carol,
so no, the way you're saying it would be counterintuitive, no. It seemed that I understand it, that that's what God was saying was the right thing to do.
so in terms of Carol and Anastasia and Natalie, would you say you killed them or murdered them?
I killed them because they were not innocent. They were guilty. I was innocent. I done nothing wrong. So in God's eyes,
Mm-hmm. And
it doesn't make sense, does it?
no, it does make sense. Especially when you talk about the change in diction with the Bibles, right? Murder versus kill.
The change in,
Well, remember when they changed the Bible from the initially the King James, it was murder, and then they changed it to kill?
I don't know why they changed. Some Bibles say kill, I know the older
Yeah.
ones all say murder, that's all I
Yeah.
I don't know. But it makes sense to me, because if it said, I believe the Bible is perfect. If the Bible said, thou shalt not kill, we couldn't eat meat. That made it simple as that. Because the Bible is literal, means what it says. It's not like us people that, people say something and it means absolutely.
So when you say that Natalie and Anastasia and Carol are not innocent, it's because of all these wrongdoings they did to you over the years, that stealing everything that you have. That's where the innocence
And
is
the
missing.
lying to the police to achieve, I didn't lie. It's all about lies, not about the money and the things, it's lying. I will not lie. If I do tell a lie, it's to protect somebody, like my daughter, or I will avoid, and that's a lie, to avoid sometimes, but it's always to,
Basil, you tell me that you don't lie, and you would only lie if you were protecting somebody from...
which I would call it.
Yeah. Are you lying to me when you say you don't remember how you killed those women? When you're talking about this zombie and seeing outside yourself and God telling you, are you lying to
I
me?
never told you that. What did you say?
When you tell me that you don't remember clearly what's happening after you left Elizabeth, remember you talked about, you said you feel like a zombie
Yeah.
and you don't remember everything? Are you lying about that?
I never said I don't remember. I think you're putting words in my
Oh no, I'm not. This is the last thing I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to clarify what you're saying. That's all I want to do. I do not want to put words in your mouth. I just want to understand what you're saying.
I'm not lying about zombie. I'm not lying about driving.
Okay.
I'm not lying about praying. I'm not lying about asking God to show me where to go, and because I wondered why I'm in daycare and wherever I was. I don't remember daycare. I remember the sign. And
Did you want
what are you
to,
asking me? Am I lying about?
when you said you felt like a zombie and you couldn't remember?
No, I'm not lying.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
That's all I was asking you.
No, you just said more. You asked me if you were putting where. That's not what you asked me. You asked me if I remember.
If you do remember everything.
I don't remember everything, not yet.
Okay.
I think that I remember more this morning. I sure as hell did last night, because
All this reasoning about the Bible and divine voice, the conspiracy, may seem like signs of mental illness. And Basil is indeed a strange guy, but he's not crazy. It's just that his worldview, like the worldview of any psychopath, is very different from yours and mine. He cites biblical texts to support his reasoning and blatantly lies about past events. His speech is a typical psychopathic set of grievances and claims.
that guy wanted to talk to me. I told him on the phone, I said, I don't even want to talk to you. I don't even want to listen. I'm so tired. And he said, well, then hang up the phone. I don't know what he said. I don't know.
Well, you know lots of things, because we've been talking for a while now, and clearly you're doing a great job of remembering some things, and you're understanding what I'm saying, and you're aware that you can talk to a lawyer at any time. So, I mean, you're clearly with me in the moment right now, I would say.
I don't think I'm clearly in the moment with you right now. I don't think that I don't think I told you for weeks, months maybe. I've been telling everybody I'm going to blow or explode, and it feels like my head is so full of things and nobody listens, and I feel like I'm all.
Well, what kind of things was it full of?
I just told you, I feel like I'm alone, or there's nobody helping me, and over, and those things. What I'm telling you is what I'm talking about, and panic, and feelings of loss,
Hurt, I would guess, by what you're describing. I think if somebody was laughing at me, like a girl.
No, not the hurt is only in the last few.
I think Carol laughing at you with your boyfriend would hurt
You're not
anybody.
listening. No, I'm talking about in the last month or longer, or 2 months, I've been telling people in this book, I may have felt hurt in the last 4 or 5 days.
Okay.
But not because hurt wasn't part of it, it was alone. I've been thinking a lot about how alone I am in this world, and I think about how the police took everything away on me and my family and my brothers and sisters, because I realize that even my own family, they have doubts about Basil now. And there's I don't blame them, because it's so much, it's overload, and I guess overload is what's happened to me. And no, I don't even feel like my family treats me like part of the family anymore.
Do you remember when I told you earlier when we started talking that's why?
But my family has seen my ex-wife do crazy things, like see devils coming through walls, like sleeping with my cousin at my brother's wedding, like lots of stuff. But my family has never come forward. When my wife does crazy things and blames them on me and accuses me, my family has never come forward and said, she's the one that's nuts, she's done this. They never ever came to it.
And they're not taking your side.
They don't, and Marianne always brought a whole barrage of her family, her mother, her and sister, and they're all hiding the big family secret that they have a brother that is a pedophile, and I always look like the
Well, that would certainly explain why you feel alone all the time, Basil. People in your own family treating you like that.
Well, it's not that they're treating me like that, it's just that they don't want to get involved and I don't know. But it has evolved to the point now where I think if they would have in the beginning, the very first time, my wife one time took her top off in the car with my brother, and my brother actually came back and told me. That was good. But another brother saw my wife screwing my first cousin, who was his buddy, in the car. He never told me till 7 years later. That's not good. It's better to know the truth. He taught more of his cousin than me, his own brother.
Can't get caught in the truth, right?
You can't get caught in the truth.
I can tell you firsthand, that's exactly how people get themselves in trouble, lying. Getting caught in the lies.
But the problem is people don't get themselves in trouble, lies. People lie about people to hide what they done. And that would be my ex-wife, this Laura Lee Kelly. And there's some men that don't ever think a good thing for women, because there's men out there that have stuck knives in my back. But it always goes back to money. And I get away from the Bible. Even that night, I was reading to that lady about money is not, I can't remember the words, but I just know the feeling. I have had that in me. Believe this or not, I am poor, filthy poor. I live at $850 a month. I had a little bit of RSPs and things, cash hidden aside. I don't even know how I ever done it this long lasted. With Carol, I tried to tell her that money means nothing to me. She, at one point, said to me, "This is my cottage." She kind of took offense that I had done so much work there, because I had built a deck without asking her. I surprised her. I thought it was like a gift. And I connected 2 decks, stuff like that. So we had she thought that I was taking over, and we got over it. I told her, I said, okay, I want to start on new projects. I'm sorry, it was a gift. Whatever. Where was I going with that? Oh, money. I wanted on, Carol knew all about Anastasia and Natalie, and my ex-wife was the same with the money, and Laura Lee Kelly.
The one thing I want to ask you, did you want the police to kill you?
Yeah. Because then I would have to kill myself.
Because then you would be going against.
Right.
The only thing, I understand that line of thinking, you explained that very well. The only thing I don't understand is the note that you left for the police in the Ottawa area saying that you don't have a gun, don't shoot me. What, that kind of goes against that? Why did that
Because
happen?
at that time I had sat in about 3 different places, and I had been writing, and I thought that if I wrote it out as, and for me, when I was writing it, I thought this is the most clear thing I've ever done, was try to write it, and it made sense, and I thought maybe I shouldn't die, maybe I asked. I was still a little bit in the God there. I thought God was helping me write it. God took me there, God took me. And I thought that maybe I should stay alive, and that, no, there was more. I remember thinking, if I'm dead, who will explain this? Or something. I don't know. And then I decided I put the gun down first. And then I walked a little piece. Then I wrote on 1 page. And I hung it on a branch. Don't murder me,
Well, you're exactly right, then there's no one to explain, right?
I have no gun or something. I can't remember what I wrote. And then, or but up until that point, I was hoping that fucking just without me knowing I was actually hoping when the helicopter flew over that they'd send a torpedo down.
So what is it you think you're left here to explain, Basil? What is it you want to, what's your message in all this?
It is no message, it's vindication would have been. But you're not following me here. There's two things. It's like me walking, being the zombie, and me over here looking at the zombie. It's like a lot of what I'm telling you is history of 20 years got to here. And then there's the zombie part. So the guy watching the zombie is me. The guy that's watching the zombie is how I got here. Does that make sense to you? The 20 years of my ex-wife, where it started to...
There's always a reason why something happens.
Does that make any sense?
Of course it is. There's always a reason why things happen, and you get 20 years of reasons. As I think you tried to explain here today.
And I know a nut cracked or something, or that doesn't make sense. I never experienced a zombie or I don't even know how I just told you what I did.
Well, because you tell the truth. That's what you do.
No, but I can't even explain how I got to that. How did I ever figure out that?
Do you remember what you did after you left Carol's? Does that help? If you think about it like a chronology, when you left Carol's, and somehow you end up at Anastasia's.
I just left Carl's and I said, God, what do I do? And I remember going through a little bit of construction and I just drove in. And I remember thinking that God is really helping me because when I went to Carl's, Carl walked right outside.
Mm-hmm. What did she do?
And then I asked her, I said, why do you hate me? Or why are you doing this to me? Or both. And then she closed the door. I was right there. And then I broke the window with my elbow. And I reached in and I unlocked the door. And she said, this is not you, Basil. This is not you.
You know what happened?
Then she told me that Dave was coming over because the hydro was out. And I said, you're lying to me again. And there was a cable TV coil. I picked it up and I hit her with it and I wrapped it around her head. And she just kept saying, this is not you, Basil, this is not you. And corral in the cottage. They dumped the bag on the table, her purse maybe or something. Got her keys. I remember taking my cell phone because I thought I was going to read it to see who this guy was, but I never did. I ended up throwing it out the window. I remember throwing it. But that was already near Eagle somewhere, way later. You know, I didn't even go to him.
Basil,
Ah,
take my hand for a second.
for
I
what?
just want to shake your hand. I want to thank you for being the guy that you said you are this whole time we've been here, a truthful, good person. It's a rare experience I get to meet somebody who actually walks the talk to preaching.
Walks like what?
Yeah. Well, you said you 9 out of 10, you're a truthful person. And you don't lie unless it's to protect somebody, other than the little white lies.
I'm not sure why.
Well, that's what you're doing right now. You're being truthful.
Doesn't matter. Why would I lie? What does it matter? Think about it.
It's just like you said, you never get caught in the truth, right?
Should remember that one. I finally went crazy, didn't I? It wasn't just that day.
Is there other days?
A couple of days before, it was maybe right through.
Mm-hmm. Take your time, take a minute.
Don't touch me, please. The more I think, I remember not just being beside, I remember being behind myself, watching myself, walking to the car from the building. It was like I was over there, I'm here, but the
This is from your building, Basil?
as if I was watching from a camera myself. I should be talking to the psychiatrist. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. I remember this was days before. But that's what I remember, seeing myself walking out of the building with the gun. Days. I had the gun in the apartment. I smuggled in because I thought that the police were going to come. There's something wrong with me there. There's not something wrong with me. It's real. I am afraid of the fucking police. And I have good reason to be. So I brought the gun there because I thought that someday they're going to come and kick in my door. And I wasn't putting up with no more. I'm going to shoot the cocksuckers. Leave me alone. And then I don't know why I wanted to take the gun out of the apartment because I don't know why. So I took it and I hid it in the bush in a garbage bag. But that doesn't mean I wasn't doing that. I see myself doing that. Doesn't it make sense? I was over there. I'm here. I'm like a camera and I'm...
Where did you lay it in the bush, Basil?
just along the road. But that way. But it's all fucked up. I'm sure that was, I don't think it was a week earlier. Days. Maybe not. I don't know. I know I done it. And I took those rusty old bullets. I hid them with it. I didn't really hide it. I took them just in the bush.
Where did you have the bullets?
With the gun. The gun was never loaded when it was in the house.
Did you take the gun with you to Carol's?
Yes. I took it everywhere with me then. Until I dropped it in the bush there. And that was only because I sat at that on the picnic table. No. Yeah. I was sitting at the picnic table and I was writing. And I felt at peace. I was quiet, alone, and calm. Everything was, and I write all the time. If you go to my apartment, there's fucking writes everywhere. It's like, that's what I talk to, is paper. It doesn't make any fucking sense. No one listens to me. So nobody helps me figure out what was the right thing to do. Like, I'm telling the fucking truth through my divorce, through everything. I never lied, and they listen to the fucking lies. So who do I talk to? Nobody. I fucking, that Radkowski, what the fuck is his name? I tried to tell him, and he said, you don't want to do that, you don't want it. I go, holy fuck, I'm telling him my head's going to explode, and he's not listening to me. I kind of knew, or I knew, he said, I don't know what I fucking knew. I knew I needed help. I phoned the fucking... And I remember telling my probation lady that she was fucking more help to me than anybody that I fucking never called, because I never got replies, or fucking, it was like, that's months ago, a long time ago. And I tried to get my daughter to come and talk to me, and we ended up getting a big fight because she, maybe I don't know, fuck. I probably, because me, I couldn't deal with it, no, nothing anymore. It was, nobody fucking listens to me. Nobody helped me. Nobody. And I was not lying, ever.
You know why he is sobbing? He feels sorry for himself. Not the women he killed, not his own helpless relatives who have to live with it all, not the relatives of the victims, but himself. And all this is not a figment of his sick imagination. Psychopaths have problems with conscience and empathy, which is why it is easier for them to blame others. Also, they have problems with self-control, hence Basil's talk that he realized he would soon explode. But the idea that he saw himself from the outside and did not control himself is not believable.
I remember the gun, how the fuck did I do that? I took it to the bush, left it there for a day or two, maybe or three, I don't fucking know. Then, after after the lady and me were talking about the Bible, I tried to sleep, and I did. Maybe I fell asleep. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. That's when I went and got the gun. And I brought it back to the building, and I carried it. This is all me watching me do it. It's like over there. Does this make any fucking sense?
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. I carried it down by the garden shed. I was trying to get a garden going at the building because I wanted to fucking get some of those people there out of the apartments and fucking be a little friendlier. They're all fucking fighting like idiots. And anyway, I took it. I hid there in the bush again. I don't know why. And I remember thinking I shouldn't, but I did. Then I went to bed. I didn't go to bed. I just laid on the couch and I fell asleep. I don't. I was so fucking tired. I couldn't sleep. And you know, I only, it's like bits. I remember driving the car, and I'm beside the car, not in the car. I'm outside the door, and I'm steering here, but the car is over. And I remember God's helping me do what's right. I remember God saying, not saying, God never spoke to me. I remember thinking that God's making this easy because Carl came out the door. Because when I got to Anastasia's, she walked out the door. As soon as I walked, wasn't even at the door, she just walked out. And I asked Anastasia, I just said, why did you lie in court? And she said, I didn't. And the gun went off. Because it just lies. And no.
Where did she get shot, Basil?
What do you mean?
What part of her body?
I have no idea. She ducked down the little island. I don't know. No.
Behind a little island?
There was a little island. And she was standing and she just went down and the gun went off after she went down.
So this is inside the house?
Yes.
Okay, because you said she'd come outside to...
Yeah, but she went in and I walked in right behind her.
Okay.
It was as if it was supposed to be. It's like she opened the door right when I just come there and I just walked. She turned around, walked in, I walked right in behind her. And
was anyone else there?
there was another girl there. She had a toothbrush in her mouth and she said, who are you? I'll kill you. And that's all.
What happened after that?
I just, again, I said, God, what do I do now? God told me to get in the car and drive down the highway, and then I drove. jiggity-jaggedy through a bunch of back roads, somehow 2 off on the road. And then to the farm.
Whose farm is this?
It was mine in that was. It's not because I paid into it in cash because I was going through a divorce, but because my wife was cuckoo.
What, Basil, what kind of farm is this that Natalie was on, that used to be yours?
It used to, when I was there, I had wild boar, I raised a couple hundred meat birds, I had cattle. But shortly after I was gone, she sold everything to different people. Actually, some of those backhoe friends of hers took a bunch of stuff away. I don't know where anything went. I was in jail. I don't know where it went. But there's nothing there now. She kept everything. I could never go to court to get any of my stuff. All the farm equipment, the tractors and all of that were mine that I brought there from BB. And I got nothing. Everything. There's still balers there. And they're just rotting out in the field. She doesn't care. I'm not covered. Not fucking. I don't know who she's with. I don't know anything about her. I have no contact. And Anastasia. I told my phone. I almost had a nervous. She came to the building and she paced for 15 minutes back and forth in front of the building. So she's breaching the condition that I'm supposed to be. I was sitting outside with one of the guys in the building, a Tom that has cancer, and I finally said, thanks. And I timed her. She was there 15 minutes, walking back and forth, looking at the building. I don't know what she thought I was going to do. I actually went around the corner and hid. I kept peeking out though, that she wouldn't see me. Because I thought she was trying to get me thrown back in jail again. And then I talked to my old neighbor, and she apparently got a house cleaning job there. And he told me that Anastasia wants to talk to you and she wants to give you something. Now my immediate reaction is fear. She's setting me up. She's trying to put me in jail. Again. She is bipolar. Lewd. So I run. And I do believe I've read a little bit about post-traumatic stress disorder. I believe I have that. But it's caused by use. Use. The police. Because yous have attacked me. Yous are the end. Over and over and over. I don't understand why.
So, Basil, if we're the enemy, and I can certainly see this frustration you have against the police with your experience with them, then why did these women get killed instead of police officers? Why not direct this anger towards us rather than them? This farm is Foymont Road. That's the one you're talking about.
Yeah. I think that's the name.
What happened when you went to Natalie's farm on Tuesday?
What happened? I just drove in, walked in the door. She was sitting there. She went around the corner. I followed her. Boom. Walked out. That's it. I don't think there was. And it was funny. It was like I wasn't even pulling the trigger on the gun. The gun was just going off. It was just like, boom. Anyway. It's like, I don't know how to.
Was there anyone else there?
I don't think so. I didn't see anybody.
Where did you go after?
And then drove again. tell you this, the guy that she was getting those backhoes from, he was the guy that was selling them. I found out where he lived, a little sawmill. Drove around the place. I talked to two people. I asked them, is the big guy here? And they all said, both said no. One guy said he was there on the other side. The other guy said, no, he's not here when I drove around. And then I left.
Did you ever know his name?
Never. Natalie. All of the nothing.
Do you feel sorry about how it all ended?
Of course I feel sorry. Maybe that's why I didn't. No, I know why I didn't shoot myself. But I did know that if I kept the gun and waved it around, for sure I would get shot. I was thinking but not thinking. I was thinking of I think I was thinking a little better when I sat down at that picnic table and I started writing. For some reason things seem to be more clear. Must have because I didn't move anymore.
How long were you there?
A couple of hours. Did you find the booze?
I'm not sure. Did you have booze there?
I had a bottle of 40 Creek and a bottle of wine and a little bottle of Fireball. I left the car and went through the bush back out to the highway and I crossed the highway. And before I found the gun, I left the booze there because I planned on drinking and blowing my head off. But then by that time I started thinking about it, you can't do that, Basil, you're innocent. If you blow your head off, you'll never go to heaven because...
So the booze you left with the gun in the bush?
No, I dropped the booze, then a while later I left the gun. Maybe not far apart, 100 yards, 200 yards, I don't know. I just knocked the booze down. Then later I was walking, I'm not a good shape. I don't know how long it took me to get that far. I know I was really, really tired. I remember my right leg was really sore, so I was sort of flopping around. I thought I was going to get shot, so I texted her and told her I'm sorry.
Are there any other victims out here that we need to know about, Basil? Yeah, like other than these 3 women here, is there anybody else?
No.
No other bodies that we're gonna find?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so. No.
Okay. No. Let me ask you this, Basil. I understand that you don't, you have a mistrust for police and you don't like them.
How could I?
And I get that.
If you're listening to me, how could I?
I am listening. And what I want to ask you is this. The time you and I have been in here together today,
Yeah.
have I treated you fairly?
I don't know.
Well, you're sitting here, right?
I don't know if you're treating me fairly. I don't know. I don't even really know what you're doing. I don't know if you're going to take whatever I said and twist it around because that's what happens. And make a nightmare out of it. Like make it worse, make it fucking, I don't know, can you make it worse? I don't know. I don't trust you. If you're asking me that, no. Treating me fairly, you haven't beat on me. I've been beat on.
Yeah.
I don't hate my ex-wife for what she done to me because I know what happened to her. Randy, that messed her up, and then I read books and talked to her. So I can understand why she struck out with me. So that's why I never even thought of ever killing her.
Okay.
Hurting her or anything. And then Carol, who I called Jiggy, her husband died 5 or 6 years ago. 5. But anyway, she never ever got over that, and she is. I actually told her that she should go to a counselor because she never dealt with the death part. And I call her Jiggy. You know what Jiggy is?
Like the fishing?
Jig for fish.
Yeah.
Here's the bait, take the bait away. Here's the bait, take the bait away. I told her that's the way you treat me, Carol. You ask me to do stuff for you, and then when I do it, you tell me that I wasn't supposed to do it or that I'd done it. She was, I don't think bipolar, but she had and then there was this Ron guy that used to come. He even used to tell her. I remember hearing him say, like, Carol, you just got to make up your mind. You keep changing your mind. And
So Randy is your ex-wife's daughter's. Who's Randy? I'm a little bit confused
my
about that.
ex-wife's brother,
Your ex-wife's brother is Randy.
Randy Mask.
Mask. Like M-A-S-K.
SK. My ex-wife's name was Mary Ann Mask. I don't know if she's a Mask or a Borutski anymore because I haven't spoken to her since.
Okay. And this fat guy, we don't know his
I
name.
don't know his name. He owns a sawmill in little tiny sawmill, lives in a house trailer.
And where's the sawmill?
Let me try to keep.
Okay.
The way it was explained to me is that it's in the town of White Lake. There's a roadside park at the lake, you know what I mean? Like a place with picnic tables, maybe a park. And he lives right next door to it on the lake, in a trailer, and there's a little sawmill in the back.
Is there a name for the sawmill? It's in White Lake.
Right beside the. That's how I found it. That's why I just drove in there and I said, "Is the big guy here?" And the guy just knew what I would meant by the big guy because the guy is like 400, 500 pounds. I don't know. He's huge. Last night, I haven't seen the man since I was on that farm. We'd come for eggs, so it's 4 years ago, 5. I don't know. We did get to see him.
Okay. This road that goes out to your farm and Natalie's farm,
Yeah.
where you threw the phone away.
I don't know where I threw the phone away. I just know.
Oh no, but just what do you know the name of the road or?
It's that road that the farm's on. I was going towards Eganville, but I never went to Eganville, so it's before. I don't even know where I turned. I turned off that road, up the back road, and then I came out on it. And then I was in Baker. So Daker's the only place I remember. The sign Daker. And I remember thinking, what the fuck am I doing here? And the answer would just be, well, God, you must know what you're doing. I'm in Daker. And then the next thing, I talked all the way.
So when you get to Daker, where's the farm in relation to Daker?
Way before. An hour maybe before. Right. Give me a piece of paper. Farm. Long driveway, beside highway. Egan Road. That way. Maybe 40 minutes. Then before I didn't go to Egan, but I went that way. And then, I don't know the road. There's, it's not a road. I didn't turn 90 degrees. I turned like that, I think. No, I turned. You know what I mean? It wasn't an intersection road. It wasn't straight. It was
Almost like they just peel off.
maybe it wasn't. Maybe it is. Or it's a road that I went off, and right over, as soon as I went off, there's a curve or like that or something right there.
And this is the road
And
where you got
there's-
rid of the phone?
No, I threw the phone out on the left side. I went to the left side of the highway and just fired it out the window into the ditch. So I wasn't even in my lane. I remember grabbed the phone, gone, as soon as it rang.
So which way is north here?
I assume where did the sun come up in that front of them? That was the
Well, how about this? If this is the fireman, this is Eganville.
this must be north.
If this is the fireman, this is Eganville. Is the phone you threw it somewhere between?
Between the farm and that road that I turned on.
Okay.
And this road took me out to Highway 41. From 41, I turned left. Then if I'm not mistaken, if I would have stayed on 41, I would have came to Dacre. But I didn't. I turned left and I went through, and then I turned right. And I couldn't believe it when I came something about Dacre, because in my mind, if I just kept going, I would have been in Dacre, and how am I in Dacre now? Like, I remember that sign.
Do you remember what the phone looked like? What
Flip phone.
flip phone? Was it black or gray or colored or?
Color blind too. Very colorblind. I used to be a pilot and they wouldn't let me fly because I'm colorblind. I can't. I just want to find the phone. Is that what you want to do?
I would like to find the phone if we could. Do you remember what make it was?
I didn't look at the phone. It fell out of the purse. I got the keys. I picked the phone up with the keys. I threw it on the dash. I never touched it, never looked in it till it rang, and I fucking threw it out because.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how to tell you any, because I don't know.
No, you've put a great effort in.
There's miles between the farm and this road, like 15, maybe.
Okay.
But I do know I threw it on the left side of the road because I threw it with my left hand because it was. And I'm trying to think of something that I might remember, but I don't remember. This isn't like me driving. Can you fucking understand that? Jesus, this is fucking hard.
Definitely very hard. And that's why I said you're doing a great job.
This wasn't me. Fuck, it was me. Oh, I was. I was going places where I fucking have no idea. And it was like someone was telling me to go here, to go there, to fucking this road, that road, fucking. I never met one cruiser or nothing because the sight of a cruiser panics me. I remember nothing. But no, I'm sort of, someone's telling me I was going around the corner in the highway when it rang, but I don't know. Maybe there was. I wouldn't go by there. You know what a sumac tree is? Ah, fuck.
If you don't, that's
I
all right.
don't, I
You
don't
remember.
I
You
don't
remember.
know.
No
I
problem.
don't know. It wasn't in my head. It's like a tape. You can't understand. I tried to tell you. Like a tape playing, and the fucking tape broke when I got to where the fat man was, because everything was as if it was a play. Carl opened the door. Anastasia walked right out the door. I opened the door in the house. I walked up the door, opened it, and Natalie's right there. it was like as if it was supposed to be. It was like, and in my, it was fast. It was not like, if you think about the distance, I don't know what it is, but it's quite a piece from one place to the other, but it was like, more like bang, bang, bang. But there was no bang. I didn't even take a gun at Carl's. I had the gun, not take. And I don't even know if to me it was, I asked a question. And as soon as I asked the question, she lied. And that's what, it's just like lie, bang. Same with Anastasia. I said, why did you lie in court? She said, I didn't. Bang. It was, and there was even no sound. And it wasn't like a pop. And it wasn't like that I pulled the trigger. It was fucking, I don't know what the word is. I'm telling you, man, I fucking, and it's not just that, it's, I know now, or I think, or I can see back, because I never even knew about the, I'm trying to tell you, but I fucking don't know how. It's like I'm standing here, and I can see myself going to the car. No, see, I'm confusing stuff. Yeah, I was going to the car, then I went left because that's where the gun was, and I watched it. Then I came back to the car. And that whole part is like me being in the parking lot, watching, and then I guess I was in the car.
I think I'm not the only one who got tired of listening to Basil during this episode. The accumulation of facts, important and irrelevant, outright lies and unexpected truth, in principle a huge amount of convoluted information that he conveys reveals the classic psychopath in him. It must be said, not the smartest one. Ramble on, divert the conversation from what's important, confuse, even the dumbest psychopath can do that. And from long dealings with them, you often get the feeling that you are like the fly stuck in honey. What's interesting is that while so talkative and eloquent with a detective, at trial Borutski did not say a word, refused the services of a lawyer, and even could not pass a psychopathic examination for the reason that the entire session with the psychiatrist was silent. The result is logical, a life sentence. He has been in prison ever since.